Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Matt and I like video games. And in today's video I'm going to be talking about Xbox exclusives. Specifically this generation's Xbox exclusives and why I think they're underrated. So stay tuned. Okay, so before this video even starts, I want to acknowledge that I am referring to Xbox console exclusives. This includes all of the games that are also available on PC. I'm simply referring to any of the games that you can't play on any other console except Xbox. So, with that being said, let's begin. It's no secret that exclusives released by Xbox this generation haven't exactly been up to par with the competition, or even their own previous generations for that matter. With staples like Halo, Fable, Morrowind, and Knights of the Old Republic leading the way for the original Xbox, that was a formidable console packed with a ton of fun games. And the same can be said for the Xbox 360, probably even more so when you consider games like Halo 3, Halo 4, ODST, Reach. You got the introduction of the Gears of War series 1 through 3, Mass Effect 1 was an exclusive, Forza Motorsport was starting to take off during that generation, and towards the end of the generation they introduced Forza Horizon. All of those games come together to create what I believe, in my personal opinion, this is just my opinion obviously, is the greatest console of my lifetime, and that was the Xbox 360. And even if you don't agree with that statement, you cannot deny that the Xbox 360 was a massively successful console, backed by some massively successful exclusive games. And with that being said, that set the bar extremely high for the Xbox One during this console generation. But before Xbox One would even get a chance to show itself as a worthy successor to the 360, things went pretty bad. I mean, if you want to see some guidelines on how to not launch a console generation, just watch everything Microsoft did with the Xbox One launch. And I know that sounds harsh or whatever you might be thinking, but at the end of the day, I'm an Xbox guy. I love Xbox. I'll always love Xbox. But I'm just being honest here. I think we can all be honest that that console launch was downright terrible. I mean, honestly, I could go into a huge list of reasons why the Xbox One console launch didn't go well, but that's not what this video is about. What this video is about is me talking about why I think that some of these Xbox One console exclusives are very underrated. But before we do that, we do have to be honest and acknowledge that it's quite easy to notice somewhat of a drop-off during this generation of Xbox exclusives. And I believe that some of this can be attributed to the fact that a lot of these games released before they were done, as well as some of the games just not being very good. I mean, that happens on both platforms. It happens on Nintendo, it happens on Xbox, it happens on PlayStation, it happens on PC. Sometimes games just aren't very good. But you also have to admit that there's this unspoken, or sometimes very spoken, stigma surrounding current generation Xbox exclusives. And in a lot of cases, I don't think that's fair. I mean, do some of these games deserve that stigma? Yeah, honestly they do. But that doesn't automatically make all of these exclusives bad. Another thing that doesn't work in Xbox's favor, at least during this generation, is that for some reason, all of a sudden around, I guess 2015, Metacritic became the end-all be-all of gaming. It was as if somehow these gamers went from playing games to playing ratings of games, and I just couldn't understand that for the life of me. For example, there's games like Dying Light that's a 75 Metacritic. I've played over 380 hours of that game just on my Xbox One. I've got it on PC too. Just on my Xbox One, I've played over 380 hours of that game. That game is amazing. It's fun as hell. Another example, and this isn't an Xbox exclusive, in fact, it's a PlayStation exclusive, is Days Gone. I love the hell out of that game, yet it's like a 70 on Metacritic. And another game that would be a good example of this is a game like Rise, Son of Rome, which is an Xbox One console exclusive, and it's sitting at a 61 on Metacritic. And I gotta tell you, it's a top 10 game I played this generation. I've got a PS4 Pro, I've got a Nintendo Switch. This is a top 10 game I've played this generation, on the campaign alone. Now there's some stuff in there that I don't like. For example, the Kinect stuff. It was an Xbox One launch title, so they threw a bunch of Kinect crap into that game that didn't need to be there. It was unnecessary, and it just didn't feel good. But the story of the game was really good. It had nice twists and turns. There was a twist that I didn't really see coming until about halfway through the game, but I'm not going to spoil nothing here. But it was a great game overall. Not to mention they also had an awesome multiplayer where you got into a gladiator style arena with you and a friend, and you both fought enemies to the death. It was amazing, and I think that that's an incredibly underrated game. But let's get back to the meat of the Xbox One console exclusives, and that is obviously Halo, Gears of War, and Forza. Now, we all know what happened with Halo the Master Chief Collection. It had a launch so terrible that it almost made the Xbox One launch look good. And it's not because of the games inside the game. Those games are proven games. Those are amazing, historic games. The problem was it was released completely unfinished. There was no polish to the multiplayer, which is the backbone of Halo. And to 343's credit, they owned up. They accepted the responsibility and they fixed their problem. And thanks to that, Halo MCC now has a full, vibrant community of online players. And yet, to this day, there's still a stigma surrounding that game. And a lot of it, you could say, is related to the launch of that game and how bad it was. But I feel like there's this unspoken stigma that when Xbox releases a new Halo game, a new Gears game, a new Forza game, people like to brush it off as, oh, it's just another one of those games, which I think is ridiculous. And take a game like Gears 5, for example. It came out last September. That game, for me, is hands down the best Gears of War game ever made. And I was there for Gears of War 1, Gears of War 2, and Gears of War 3. By the way, Gears of War 3 is my second favorite Gears game of all time. And I never played Judgment, but I did also play Gears of War 4. And I still feel confident saying that Gears 5 is my favorite Gears of all time. But I don't like the fact that just because it's Gears, people write it off as just another Gears game, when that simply just isn't the case. People like to say, well, why didn't Xbox do anything new this generation? Well, when they did do something new, it went completely under the radar. Look at Sunset Overdrive. Look at State of Decay. Both of those are really awesome games, yet nobody talks about them for some reason. Now, are those games on the level of, I don't know, Uncharted 4 or God of War or Horizon Zero Dawn? No, but they're damn fun games. Another example of a set of games that are completely underrated is the Ori series. There's these people who take one look at Ori and then they like to dismiss it as a child's game. And that just simply isn't the case. Both Ori 1 and 2 have incredibly mature stories that deal with life and death. Yet because it's not a third-person action-adventure game, it seems to get written off immediately as just some kiddie game. And look at games like Forza Horizon 2, 3, and 4. All of which are highly rated games on Metacritic, but people like to say, oh, that doesn't count because it's racing games. Since when do racing games not count? They're fun. People my age grew up on racing games. Need for Speed Underground, Underground 2, I mean Gran Turismo back in the day. People grew up on these racing games. They're fun, they like them. Yet for some unknown reason, they're just immediately discredited as not important games, and I just don't know why. And that's really my whole point with this video, is to just say that a lot of these Xbox One exclusives were really fun. I mean, yeah, they didn't rate well on Metacritic for some reason, but they were fun games and I had a lot of fun playing them. And that to me is exactly what gaming is about, is having fun. Otherwise, why are you doing it? Why are you doing something that's meant to be fun if you're not having fun? And I know that this is an Xbox video, but it doesn't just pertain to Xbox. I'm talking about gamers on any platform. As long as you're having fun playing whatever games you're playing, then that's all that matters. And that's all I have to say on the matter. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Do you think that the games are underrated? If so, what's your favorite exclusive for Xbox One? Leave a comment below and let me know your opinion. Leave a like if you liked the video. Please subscribe if you would be so kind. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.